Right now, it is my privilege and my pleasure to introduce the most phenomenal experience you would ever have to go through. It is called Dinner Time Stories. You're wondering what I'm talking about? Well, it's that time of the morning. I was so excited since we started, and I'll let you know that this interview was going to be a one to remember. It's official. The 𝓭𝓲𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰 of dining returns to 𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓻 and to a new home that is the Radisson Blu Hotel Durban 𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓻. 𝓭𝓼𝓲𝓷𝓷𝓷𝓰, the spontaneous and smallest animated chef in the world, has returned to share another of his gourmet adventures, designed from simple classic favorites with the world-famous Le Petit chef, which is the French flair. Described as a date night on steroids and a bucket list experience, a meal with Le Petit chef is an unmissable sensory extravaganza. From the earth to your table, these ingredients will be transformed with French style by his hands into dishes that boggle the mind and ensnare the senses. It is my privilege and a pleasure right now to say a very good morning and a warm welcome to Paul. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Nirvana, and good morning to the Breakfast Show team here. And all of our Durban fans and friends, and not just our Durban fans and friends, but I hear that we are being listened to on TikTok, believe it or not.
On an international level.
Yeah, by people like in Mauritius. We're coming for you, Mauritius. Trinidad and Tobago. There were some others that I heard in there.
There's Mexico, there's Fiji, there's Las Vegas, there's literally you around the world right now.
Unbelievable. That's fantastic.
Well, it's so good to have you back in studio. It's been a while. How have you been keeping?
Nirvana, we are so excited to be back in KZN. It's one of our favorite destinations, and specifically 𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓻. We love 𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓻. We love everything about KZN. The weather is the best weather in the country. Maybe not today, but generally it's the best, and the people are amazing. They are always out to have fun, which is incredible.
That's what we love doing here in Durban. It is the home of fun, and more fun. Now tell me all about Dinner Time Stories, Le Petit chef, and this new experience. Why is it known as a date night on steroids, or rather a bucket list experience?
So, Nirvana, Dinner Time Stories with Le Petit chef is literally a mind-blowing, innovative, completely unique, and it's international for all of those people that are listening, internationally acclaimed gastronomic mind blow, to be totally honest with you. It's an experience that you will never forget. Once you've had a meal with Le Petit chef and the team, you will certainly not forget it. It's tabletop projected fun. So it's on your tabletop, it's on your dinner plate. It's a 3D experience, which we've taken to a 4D level. So it's all of the senses that are stimulated completely for about 3 hours, where we lose you in complete augmented reality. So augmented reality being where we take the environment that you're in, we create another environment, and we fuse the two together, so we lose you in this environment. It also includes what we call tabletop mapping. So this 3D mapping concept allows us to project onto the table, onto props, onto the dinner plate, and everything is completely in focus, which ordinarily, if you do a projection, you would need to focus for various levels, etc. So it is a completely unique concept, which gives it a 3D feel. And during this whole process of all of these fun and exciting and surprising elements, the mood of the room changes, the music changes, the table patterns change, and all of our props that we serve the food in are completely imported, so they're not things that you would have seen before. The presentation is completely novel and unique. And the storyline promises to immerse you in what we say is the most eye-catching meal you will ever see.
Wow, and I can second that right now, that it is an experience out of this world. Tell me, what is different this year compared to the previous years of having a Le Petit chef embrace our 𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓻 shores?
So, Nirvana, we're very excited to bring you our very new story. It's the completely different story to what we had at our previous location in 𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓻. The last time we were here, we showcased Marco Polo in the footsteps of Marco Polo with Le Petit chef, and we took you on a journey around the world.
Yes.
This time, we're saying Le Petit chef is exhausted from those travels, and he actually wants to go back into nature. The show is called Le Petit Chef au Naturel, which from French means in the natural state.
Wow.
And we take you around nature. So you actually get to experience a little bit of his garden and his vegetable patch. And as he plows through his vegetable patch with lots of exciting projection, we then serve a salad. It is not the kind of salad that you would ordinarily experience. And in actual fact, I think it's one of the most photographed salads in the world right now.
Wow.
So, yeah, we have to blow you away from the beginning, right? From there, we take you to the shoreline, which is perfect because we can almost claim that it's possibly somewhere along the Natal coast. And he starts riding on a jet ski and does some surface level fishing. And we then go into a bouillabaisse soup, which is in actual fact a French filet soup with seafood, mussels, calamari, and fish. From there, he decides that he's going to dive into the ocean.
Wow.
So he does some deep sea snorkeling. And
Oh,
he
my
visits
word.
the bottom of the ocean where he pulls up some langoustine and some other very exciting fish. After that, we actually go camping. And Le Petit Chef takes you into the camping areas. You are in a tented area with a barbecue, and you are served a rotisserie chicken after the projection.
Just hearing all of that makes me hungry already.
Absolutely, we're not even there yet.
Oh, wow.
So he then decides that he would like to have a good old South African braai. And he's a little bit nervous about competing with South Africans because he knows how well they can perform at this level. So he actually allows them to cook it for themselves. So I don't want to spoil surprises, but there is an element where you guys are going to be cooking and proving to us that you can do it better than Le Petit Chef.
Wow.
Finally, right at the very, very end, we go into, let's say, the Drakensberg, because you wouldn't get snow in the coastal areas, but we take you up to where there would be snow. And obviously, there's an amazing experience whereby Le Petit Chef creates a snowball dessert. And again, I don't want to spoil any surprises, but it's mimicked. It's the perfect Instagram opportunity as well.
Oh, wow. It's for the grams, you know.
That's for the grams, for sure. And then, yes, finally, there is a tea and coffee. And obviously, if there's a celebration of sorts, whether it's a birthday, an anniversary, graduations that we had last week, etc., we then obviously prepare to celebrate all of those options as well.
Fantastic. Now tell me, what types of cuisine can we expect at dinner time stories?
So, Nirvana, the last show that we had, we obviously traveled the world. So it included dishes from Asia and the spice route. Mm-hmm. And yes, sometimes it's popular, but sometimes people don't really enjoy to taste the flavors from other countries. And that's why when I was producing this show, I wanted to very much so to be geared towards the South African palate and the South African preferences. So we've kept it fairly simple in terms of the preparation of the food and the delivery of the food, and it's food that everybody likes. So there is a lot of seafood involved. There's a lot of fish involved, but we don't just serve fish. We serve fish, chicken, and there's a meat option as well between the starter salad and, of course, the dessert at the end. And in each of those cases, obviously, we cater for all of the dietary requirements. So if you are allergic to or have an allergy to shellfish, or you do have a preference where you would not like to eat beef, you could obviously then replace it to lamb for our Hindu guests. Everything is prepared as halal. So all of the suppliers are halal certified suppliers. We prepare all of the food in a completely different kitchen to the rest of the hotel's preparation. We can serve vegan. We can do lactose intolerant. We do vegetarian. We do it all. And one of the favorite questions is, well, where and how do we give you our dietary requirements? Le Petit Chef is so good and so quick at what he does that we do not need to know those dietary requirements until you check in for the show on the day of the show. So you'll arrive, you'll tell us what your requirements are, and by the time you are seated, you will get the food as your request delivered to your chair.
It already sounds so magical. Now, there's a big must in the whole dinner time stories, and it's wine pairing. Tell me how wine pairing works, because I know previously you've had amazing wine selections for every meal.
Correct. So with the wine pairing, it's an additional ticket, and you can choose to upgrade or not upgrade with the wine pairing. If you choose the wine pairing, you then get 6 glasses of wine. We provide that wine one perfectly paired with each course of food. So we actually go through an extensive process of selecting the menu, and then obviously once the selection of the menu is finalized, we then select the wines so that they pair perfectly and you get a complete mind, or let's say a taste bud blow, as you eat the food and taste the wine. And in fact, the way it should be done is you should taste the wine, then eat the food, and then taste the wine a second time, and you will see that there's a huge difference between what you tasted with the food and what you tasted without the food, and that's why we call it a wine pairing. Now, in previous years, we've gone with one wine cellar, but this year we decided that we were going to showcase the best of South African wines. So we haven't stuck with just one wine farm. In actual fact, we've got 4 wine farms, and we've selected the best of the best from each of those 4. They are all Cape wines because we know that South Africa produces the best wines in the world, and nothing better than to pair South Africa with a little bit of French.
Brilliant. Now, are children allowed to this, Paul?
They certainly are. So even though we are serving alcohol and we do have a full cash bar, just like any other restaurant, obviously children are allowed to attend the show. We normally suggest that they come through on a Sunday for Sunday lunch or one of our public holiday lunch shows, because obviously the timing is more conducive to them. But at the moment, we have only just opened the lunch shows because we had a little bit of a problem with the blackout. But now we've got blackout because obviously we need this to be completely dark for the projection. We can now have children for lunches, but at the moment we are also allowing the children into any other show. They need to be 5 years and older, and obviously they need to be able to sit through the production, which is about 3 hours with an intermission, without disturbing other guests. But other than that, Le Petit Chef loves little people. So yeah, they're very, very welcome.
That's amazing. And to end off this fantastic experience, tell us how much are tickets and where can they be purchased?
So Nirvana, the easiest way to purchase tickets is to go onto our website. It is dinnertimestories.co.za. If you cannot remember dinnertimestories.co.za, then obviously no one will forget the little man himself. So lepetitchef.co.za is also an option, and obviously it'll take you through to the same landing page. Once you're on that landing page, you just need to click on any one of the CompuTicket booking links, and it will direct you straight through to the CompuTicket page. And as soon as you're on the CompuTicket page, you'll be able to purchase tickets and obviously select whether you'd like to upgrade with that wine pairing or not. Alternatively, directly onto the CompuTicket website or into one of the stores, ShopRite stores. They are all there. They're all willing and able to give you all of the information that you need, and it's a fairly easy process to book the seats.
Well, that's phenomenal, Paul. I'm going to see you soon at Dinner Time
certainly
Stories. Le Petit Chef, guys, it is an experience that is out of this world. It is so superb. The whole feeling and atmosphere of being there is magical, and that is, of course, Paul in studio with me from Dinner Time Stories, and he actually produced this one.
This one I'm really proud of because, in the footsteps of Marco Polo was actually one of my partners, was the show production and producer of the show, and we took it and obviously added a couple of elements, etc. But Nadine was the show producer behind Footsteps of Marco Polo. Whereas this one, which is Le Petit 𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓻-𝓤𝓸𝓬𝓮, is my own baby. So I worked in conjunction with Skull Mapping, the actual creators of Le Petit Chef. They do all of the animation and they do the voices. So Philip Stakik is actually the voice of Le Petit Chef, and Anton van Beerbeck is actually the movement and the action of Le Petit Chef. So between the two of them, they produce all of the animations, and these animations were seen by billions of people on YouTube, but they weren't actually being used in any form in a dinner show. So I took those and pulled them together and came up with scripting and suggestions on how we could make it a production. And now we have Le Petit 𝓮𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓮𝓷 straight out of South Africa.
Well, we're looking forward to visiting and to having that experience. If you want a book, you know exactly where to go. dinnertimestories.co.za or lepetitchef.co.za. Paul, thank you so much on behalf of Megazone Bollywood. We just want to wish you all the best in your event. Ultimate success to you guys, and thank you for being such an avid person to our station.
And thank you for all of the support. You guys have been phenomenal in the past, and you have been equally phenomenal this time around as well.
Thank you.
We have 5 shows in total, so Durban, keep coming back, keep loving us. We'll bring all 5 of them to you.
And for my international listeners, it's coming to you as well.
Oh, yes.
So don't feel as if you're left out.
You can run, but you can't hide from Le Petit 𝓮𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓻.
So watch the space, because Dinner Time Stories will be making their way to your country. Thank you so much, Paul. Have a wonderful day, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you, team.
Megazone Bollywood on FM, on app, online, around the world, wherever you are.